What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's episode 126, and I don't know what to say, except let's have a good time tonight. Wait, I'm going to... It's so funny. Let me pour a drink here. We're drinking seltzer water tonight. My stereo is down. Still. Let me click the camera on. Come on in, welcome. Cheers, everybody. I literally got a new stereo and the damn thing blew again. So that means my speakers are too powerful. Cheers, everybody. Happy Monday, and also thank you very, very much. I raise my glass to everybody who's been in this channel now for over a year and a half, and now I'm at 1,000, and I've been trying to get here forever, so thank you so much. Wow, I love it. You guys are talking about banned cheese. I love it. What's up? Cheers, everybody. Come on in. Let me know if we're sounding good. Let me know if the resolution looks good. Yeah. Let me turn this down. Wow, we got a group in here already. Oh, we got a good group. We got Ruth, William, Fallon. My mom is in here. Alex. Who else? There's somebody new in here from Brazil. Cheers from Brazil. Who else? William is in the house. Come on in, people. I got a great show. I want to talk about a lot of things tonight. This is episode 126. We hit 1,000. One other thing before we talk about that, the robot named Zalthon, who runs my chat bot and all that stuff, is again not working. He was turned on, now he's off. I don't know who turns the buttons off. For some reason, you know, my code to my garage, out of nowhere, the code doesn't work. I don't know who changed it. Who knows? I can't keep up anymore. Somebody got jailed for cheese. I can't wait to go back and read this. This is fantastic. Marzu. What is that? What? Banned for purchase and sell. What? Who's banning cheese? I know the cheese from, I think it's from the Middle East. That is, has maggots in it. That's banned here. RoboChat. Well, I have a robot that moderates a bit, not much. Mercury is in retrograde. I wanted to say, now that I'm at 1,000, I did get the congratulation email from YouTube. I heard it takes a little while for them to grease your algorithm. Let's see. I predict my algorithm's not going to change. Everybody says it will. I have a funny feeling it might not, which means A, it doesn't work that way anymore, or they made the number higher, or B, I'm on the shadow ban. And it could be for a million reasons. And all it means is they hit a button and you just don't get seen by many people. They do it on all these social media platforms. So honestly, yeah, who's writing in here? Oh yeah, that's the cheese with the bugs inside. That's the one I was talking about. So in honor of my 1,000th subscriber, I am going to give away a mystery box tonight. I'm going to give one away. So I'll tell you a little later what to do. Jail time for cheese. I love it. I can't wait to go read this chat. It's like pulling me in. What else was I going to say? So let's see what this algorithm thing is. It's a big experiment, and I'm not quite sure what to say about it. So who knows? I do know this. On Instagram, if you notice, the amount of people that see your photos is getting less and less and less. I used to post a photo and I could get between, I don't know, 200 and 300 likes. Now I'm lucky if I get 100 likes. And it's because each person has a circle of friends and they recognize that circle. So when you make a post, they send the post to that circle. It only gets outside that circle. Literally, it's shadow banned to everybody else. They will never see it. It never gets to their feed. The only reason why you will see it is if people in your circle interact with the post. If they click on it, if you write back, it opens the circle a little bit. It says, hey, this is a good post. And it keeps doing that. So it has nothing to do with hashtags. It has nothing, it's all gone with. It has to do with interactions and likes. So if it gets a bunch of likes, someone writes on it and you respond, it opens it. It's like it spreads. So what? Wait, I have friends. So I mean, literally, when you follow somebody, or they follow you on any of these things, you don't even realize it, but they're not going to let you see their posts. So somebody that's watching now could follow me and never see my posts. So what's the point? Is my question. It's crazy. Well, I'll tell you what it is, and I hate to say this, it's kind of sad. And this is really hard to understand. But stop and think about this. This is serious. Instagram, everybody who's on Instagram, me included, I am not a customer to Instagram in any way, shape, or form. I am the product. I hate to say it. That's what YouTube is. We are the product that they're selling to somebody else. The business model changed. You know, it used to be, you know, it's a form of entertainment to go on Instagram and look around and share things with your friends. But that's not what it is. They're mining data and then they sell it to advertisers. China, who runs TikTok, they're just mining data so they have stuff on you. They are. It's true. It's not a joke. It's not a conspiracy. The guys that own TikTok have to turn over all their data to China and then they file it off away. So we are the product. Whoa, you're hearing air raid sirens, Fallon? Wow. Yeah, well, that's it, Ruth. You got it. Yeah, you follow 666 people and you see 10 people's posts. That's what's happened. It's getting really dark and weird, and I don't want to say too much more about this, but we're being behavior modified by all this stuff. They're doing it. And it's very subtle and very, 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 and the news is involved and they're all involved. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. There's no conspiracy here. You can go see that this is what they're doing. And it seems like it's naturally going that way and will naturally go that way. There's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. The only way to do it is to turn off your TV, to turn off your internet. A couple good friends of mine recently, they just stopped using their Instagram. They literally stopped. Now, I can't. Chemtrails, I don't buy into the chemtrail thing. I think that's a silly one. But, yeah. Oh, you're in Pittsburgh. How yin's doing up there, huh? Yeah, it's just weird, you know? We're the product now, and that's it. I mean, YouTube is called YouTube, meaning me, like independent creators. It's no longer that. It's corporate media runs it. They have TV channels. It was built on the backbones of, you know, the Bill and Ted, what do you call it? Wayne's World. You know, remember Wayne's World? They did a TV show in their basement. It's built on Wayne's World, and then it turned into CNN and Fox News. Fahrenheit 451. Well, we're going to talk about that a little later on when we get to book burning. But yeah, what did I do today? Let's talk about this week's news that I saw that was interesting and fun. Oh, yesterday, I went and got a manicure because I had to do a hand modeling job today for a company called, I'll tell you. It was called, what the heck was it called? Hold on. Man of the World. That's it. Man of the World. I think it's a magazine and a lifestyle brand. Anyway, I was a hand model doing coin rolls, one-handed shuffles in a dealer situation. And, I love this. People talking about the net. Yeah, no one's willing to communicate. Wait, I'm getting distracted. There's so many things. Oh, hand modeling. Yeah, so today I did the hand modeling gig, and it's funny because I had a costuming. I had to wear two outfits, even though you don't see me, because, you know, they're taking pictures of my hands and arms. So I had the pants, the shirt. My first outfit was a really gaudy, floral patterned suit coat with an undone bow tie, white shirt. It was cool. The second one was a white tracksuit, Polly Walnut style from Sopranos, which I never put one on. I mean, I don't own any sweatpants. I don't own sneakers. I don't own any of that stuff. So here I am in a wife beater and a white tracksuit doing card shuffles. There's a picture of me on Instagram wearing the white suit. It's pretty funny. Yeah. So, me getting a manicure and then not being able to mess up my hands or cuticles ain't easy because I'm very handsy. I dig in the sand. I make things. I mean, I'm a hands guy. I play bass. I mean, I have giant lumpy calluses. So my hands ain't pretty. But they did a good job. You won't be able to see. They did a good job on my nails. It's so funny. Whenever I go into a nail salon, I've only had one pedicure once. I hated it. It tickled and it hurt. Terrible. Whenever I go in, I'm always looking around, and there's always like one guy kind of in the corner hiding. I don't know if he's embarrassed to be there. What's this? The algorithm is the new overlord. Yeah, it is. It's not good, folks. All right, let's talk about Clu Gulager. Now, I'm wearing this lovely shirt with Linnea Quigley, a.k.a. Trash, from the American cult classic film Return of the Living Dead, that was also written by Russo, the guy that wrote Night of the Living Dead. And this movie has nothing to do with it other than they mention the Night of the Living Dead movie in this movie. You can get a pedicure from fish. I know that. It's cool. So, I am a big fan of this movie, and I'm also a big fan of Clu Gulager, who died last week. He's pretty old. I don't know what killed him. Don't care. He's in Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Gunsmoke, and a bunch of other stuff. He was like a B, C-list actor, so he worked all the time. He wasn't like a movie star. But he was in a lot of stuff. So, here's my Clu Gulager story. I got to meet him once in L.A., let me think, 2005, 6? Okay, so you love pedicures? So here's the problem I had. It tickled and it hurt. It was like it went from a tickling thing to like pure pain. I don't get it. Yeah, Clu is really cool. So you're going to love this, Ruth. I'm wondering, Ruth, if you've ever bumped shoulders with him because he was in the West Coast. He was an LA guy. So I was in a diner with Kembra from Karen Black. The band I was in at the time, I stopped playing in Toilet Boys for 3-4 years. Actually, the band broke up from 2002, 3 till 06-ish, 07-ish. I was in Karen Black, the voluptuous horrors of Karen Black. And so we were on tour. We were in the West Coast. We were in LA playing at the Key Club. And Kembra, the singer, Karen Black Kembra, knew Clu Gulager's son. And so we went to some diner. Somebody here might know which one. And we had dinner with them. And I was freaking out because I'm a Clu Gulager fan. I'm like a major fan. I love his movies. So he wasn't sitting directly beside me. He was sitting across from me. And, oh, God, I would love to meet him too. Kurt Russell, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be, yeah, he's got movie star quality, that guy. And so Clu Gulager's sitting there, and at one point I was like, yo, dude, I'm a major fan. Like, I've seen your movies a lot. And he was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, no, really, like, I can, like, close my eyes and just recite all the lines. And he was like, oh, wow. And I was like, Return of the Living Dead, it's a really well-made movie. It's not only a little funny, but it's also really scary in certain moments, and the acting is good. His acting in it is outstanding. The older actors in that movie that they cast, serious guys, like really good actors. They were the real deal. And the Key Club. I prefer the Ritz, which I love playing there. So he's sitting there, and we're talking about Return of the Living Dead. And I go, and do you know what else is good? And he went, what? And I go, I really loved you in Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Freddy 2? I was like, I love it. It's actually my favorite Freddy movie. And he looked at me and he went, I'm not in that movie. And I was like, huh? And he's like, I'm not in that movie. And I was like, yeah, you are. Like, I'm a fan. I've seen these movies. I know you're in the movie. He's like, no, I'm not in the movie. And he said that when he said the third time, like, I felt he didn't want to be in the movie. Now, I don't know if you know this, but that film, when it came out... Oh, my friend's leaving. Are you cruising out?
Someone's calling after.
Oh, okay. There's a studio audience here, folks. I love it. So, I knew that he didn't want to be in that movie, and there is a little controversy of Freddy 2. Now, I saw Freddy 2... I'm trying to think. Opening night? I'm trying to think of what year. 86, 87? I can't remember. I saw it opening night in my hometown of Altoona, Pennsylvania. Sold out. Everybody was underage. Screaming, yelling. It was a perfect horror movie 80s experience. And I loved the Freddy movies, and that I thought 2 was good. I don't remember any weird controversy when I saw the movie. We saw it. We loved it. That was it. Well, I noticed over the years, the movie has a gay theme. There's a scene in a gay bar. There's the main character. I mean, literally, it's clearly an allegory for coming out of the closet. I mean, there's a scene where he's like on top of a girl and he's like, I can't do it. It feels wrong. It's like, oh, it's right. So supposedly, RoboCop 5? I've never seen it. Is there 5? Yeah, I was... Dan, you're in here. That's right. So, the movie had a controversy, and supposedly it actually hurt the guy's career, the actor that played the gay part in the movie, who he really was gay in real life. So, fast forward till now, the director admitted, yeah, I wrote the story. It's about coming out of the closet. And it kind of just went under the radar when it came out. I like the movie. What's so bad? RoboCop 5? I mean, I can't even imagine. Is it the real guy in it, too? I like him. So, honestly, I really like Freddy 2. I like the story. I like the fact that he's coming into the real world. He's not a dream monster anymore. I like the special effects. I like the dialogue. And Clu Gulager is awesome. He's kind of the funny part. He plays the dad. You're right. The gay references were oddly so mysterious in those days. I mean, there were gays back then, really? Yeah. Seriously, it was... the homophobia in the 80s was still high. You know, it was still definitely a little higher than... Now, no one cares. Honestly, I swear. Really, it's become no one cares. It's a non-issue. My kids grew up in such an open world where some of their teachers were gay, my friends are gay, some of my bandmates were gay. I mean, it's just around and no one cared. It's just there. It's not even an issue to talk about it at that point. But then you watch Freddy 2, and you're like, wow. They had to make an allegory about coming out of the closet using a horror film not that long ago. So, Clu Gulager, cheers. You made awesome movies. And yes, you were in Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I'm sorry to say. And you were good in it. Well, yeah, of course it does. Yeah. Homophobia exists where people don't have gay friends or relatives. That's what I think. As soon as you know somebody that's gay, you're like, huh? That guy's gay? Or my teacher? Like, it gives you a context of them as a human, and then that's that. It's like, all right. Yeah. Why did so many straight people have Village People albums? Listen, I have all their... Hold on. I'm going to talk. You got to see this. You've got to see this. I'm actually stepping off of camera to show you. Not only do I have the Village People albums, Fallon, I have all of them. I have friends that don't think I'm straight, which is true. There's the first one. I really like their records. I'm not going to go through them all, but oh yeah, here. Go West. But here's my favorite. How many of you have ever seen the Village People album where they got rid of their outfits and went 80s, and I mean shady 80s? Folks, come on. Renaissance. Dude, that haircut is so painful. Now, I believe there's only 2 guys in this group that are the originals. Felipe Rose, David Hodo, Glenn Hughes. 3 of them. I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. Absolute. Wait, I got to read this. Hold on, I forget. Jeff Olson, Glenn Hughes is Leatherman. Felipe Rose is the Indian. Ray Simpson. Oh, yeah, David Hodo is the construction worker. Yeah. How amazing is that? This guy over here with the white makeup, what's up with that? It's a little bit like a misfit devil lock, but he's got a braid. It's like awkward. Wow. Poison? You mean the band? Oh, yeah. I got to party with them a couple, huh. Anywho, let's keep moving. And then we're going to talk about Salman Rushdie. Something I knew, anybody that likes junk food, fast food stuff, I'm a major fan of McDonald's. Did you ever hear of their Hula Burger? It was their idea of a vegetarian burger. Pre-filet of fish, or right at the same time. They were going to do a burger that had 2 pieces of cheese, and in the middle, a piece of pineapple. I kid you not. Just learned about it. Please say it's goth. I don't know if I would call this goth. I mean, I don't know. Is that goth? I don't think that's goth. I think it's Renaissance. Keep watching the show, folks, because we're going to do a contest later. Oh, everybody watching. The Satanic Playing Cards. Almost all the U.S. orders are out except for the people that sent me their addresses that did their backer reports late. There's a couple, not many. I got a couple returns because of addresses. Yeah, it's not a burger, Ruth. It's not a burger. And so they're going to go out. Now, Europe, a small handful of the European ones have gone out. There's still a nice chunk to go. Hopefully in the next few days, I'll start. You have no idea how crazy it is. You have to fill out the whole form, and then you have to sit there and watch them fill it out. It's obscene how our postal service works. Thank you, everybody. They're getting out. As soon as it's done, there's a small group of cards that will be available. This was a labor of love like no other, and it's been hard, but I'm so happy that people are liking their cards. What else before we talk about... Dungeon Degenerates. I don't know if you're watching Dungeon Degenerates. Sean Auberg and his wife Katie. They have now just put out 3 new Diversed magazines. This is one of his magazines. There's 3 of them. But I gotta tell you now, whenever you get your mystery box, you're gonna get a couple Dungeon Degenerate goodies. I'm gonna start doing some cool stuff with them, where I do some. I'm not gonna spoil it. We have an idea of something we're gonna do together. Not from my end. It's their project, and I'm gonna help out with something small. And I can't wait. And so I really like what he does, Sean, his art. I like their company. I like that they do zines and stickers and buttons and patches. And I really like the game Dungeon Degenerates. I mean, you've seen me freak out over it. It's my favorite board game of all time. I actually say that now. It's my favorite board game of all time. My favorite games of all time right now, as it stands, Dungeon Degenerates, DCC, those are and Munchkin. Those are the ones I play the most. I've whittled it down. Can you do the foreign orders online? Maybe, but I'm not good online. Satanic Playing Card Protective Sleeves. Woo! That's easy. We would just have to do the backs. Actually, I'm going to write that down, Alex. Thank you. Sleeves. I'm gonna write that down. Protective. Yeah, because it would match the back. They would go in, and the back of the card would match the back of the. Yeah. Yeah, good idea. I know what you're talking about. DCC stands for Dungeon Crawl Classics. It is the greatest role-playing game. I don't know what to say. It's the role-playing game that puts to shame Dungeons and Dragons. Now, Dungeons and Dragons, Gary Gygax invented it. But the new version, the fluff, the fact that they're getting rid of lore because it's offensive, they can suck off. I'm DCC guy. Oh, my sister's in here. What's up, sis? My sister and my mother are watching. Cheers! I love it. So, before I get into the meaty of the subject, the studio audience is back. Because I'm going to bring up Dungeons and Dragons and them censoring themselves. They censored themselves. I'm going to talk about that tonight. Pathfinder, I guess it's okay. So, I'd like to read a quote. So I finished The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. Fantastic. It goes in my top 10 greatest books I've ever read list. I would put it there. I read Caligula. I will read The Stranger. But in the meantime, I'm reading Nietzsche's Dawn of Day, which ain't easy. And I started Human, All Too Human. And so far, it's great. Actually, I'm liking it a little better. Here's a really cool Nietzsche quote from Human, All Too Human. Unconsciously, we seek the principles and opinions which are suited to our temperament, so that at last it seems as if these principles and opinions had formed our character and given it support and stability, whereas exactly the contrary has taken place. Yeah, I always said that. People are attracted to religions. Like, if you're leaving the religion you're born into, the one that you end up in is the one that you're aesthetically attracted to. The one that fits you the most. Like, the one that looks the way you, like, it already is you. It's already there. And I used to say that about religious stuff. But in this quote, he's just saying principles and opinions. I've always said political parties are basically personality types. Because, political parties are usually broken up into what people, quote, value, even though the value meanings have changed over the years, right? Like an old school Democrat is very different than a Hillary Clinton today Democrat. Very different. Same thing with Republican. They've all changed. This is why I don't use any of these terms anymore. Yes, it is good. I like all these. I read all these books. So, what the heck were we talking about? This quote? Oh, so this quote. Yeah, I always think I already knew this. This was just something I saw, and I was like, oh, that's a nice way to write it out. But yeah, people go to what they already want, which proves the no free will thing. I mean, it's that too. It's just like you end up doing what you're predestined to do because you're wired that way, and there's actions that go before it. So that means when you meet somebody that has an opinion, most likely it's something that already suited their own temperaments, like the like political party stuff, You're independent for politics. Yeah, be careful. But when you vote, oh my, the power just jumped. They ask you if independent. There's an independent party. Beware. That's different. That is not an independent. That's a party, and they're not. They got other stuff involved. Yeah, I mean, dude, the problem with independent candidates, Jesse Ventura will tell you, like if I ran for an office and I got in and everybody liked me and I'm like, hey, I'm in here, let's do some work now, right? You've got Mr. Democrat and Mr. Republican, and neither of them will budge because of their lobby system. So why bother? That's what Jesse Ventura said. He's like, why would I? You probably like. He's great. He's like, why would I run again? What's the point? I mean, there's you get in and then that's it. You know, it's a stalemate. So, yeah, two-party system. I'm out. I always like that saying. The two-party system's one party from a dictator. That's all. I'll say we already have a dictator disguised as a two-party system. That's what I think. And on that note, it leads right into what the subject is today, and that is free speech forever. Forever. For me. I'll never change. And a few days ago, Salman Rushdie, if you don't know who he is, he wrote a book of historic fiction, which I have not read yet. I will definitely read it. It's called Satanic Verses. And it's like it's a fiction story that uses some history, and it inflamed up religious Muslim people. What is free speech? Well, good question. We can talk about that. That right there. There's a good question, because it's not as easily answered as one would think. But so Satanic Verses, the book, the title is referring to Muhammad in the Quran. In one part, praises 3 goddesses that were pre-Islam. I have their names written down. Oh yeah, Alat, Aluza, and Manat. They were 3 goddesses, and he praised them. And then they did an oopsie, and he's like, "Uh-oh, I shouldn't have praised them. You're not supposed to praise other gods, especially false gods." So he said, that was inspired by the devil. Those were the satanic verses in the Quran. That's what it's referring to, the title. Should we allow hate speech? Absolutely. 100%. I'm very pro hate speech. I'm pro blasphemy, anti-blasphemy laws. I think hate speech is good most of the time because it breeds for discussion, and hate speech is where all the new good stuff comes from. That's it. You name everything that you like in this world that's good speech, it came from hate speech. Or it was perceived as hateful because it went against the grain and caused change. You know, again, what does hate even mean? Define hate. That's the next one.
And who gets to determine what's hate speech?
Well, that's the big one. Yeah. So my friend Jack, who's my photographer buddy, who's sitting right here. Yeah, who gets to determine what constitutes hate? It's a can of worms that will never end. And again, what's wrong with hate? I'm being honest. I'm asking an honest question. Who cares? There's certain things I hate, and there's certain things you all hate. So hate, to me, isn't always bad. It doesn't have to be. Like extreme dislike for something. Great. So if hate's illegal, that means a thought is illegal. And if hate speech is illegal, ultimately it's a thought crime, because now you're not allowed to express how you feel. If you actually feel anger and hatred for something, you can't express it at all. You have to keep it quiet. That's a little bit of the thought policing for me. So, well, okay. The thing about yelling fire in the theater, to me, is a little difference. Yeah. Yes, there is. Yeah, but even inciting people to violence it can be gray. And so, again, I don't care anymore. I'd rather have the violent act than censorship. I'm being dead honest, no pun intended. I really would. I'm okay with danger. I just don't understand a world of peace. I said to somebody the other day, what does that even mean? A world with no conflict. Boy, that would get boring in about 3 seconds. You know, we were trying for peace because it never will be peace. You know, it's like, you know, chaotic things happen and mess things up, and we try to be peaceful and good people and do the right thing, but every now and then it does this. So, to me, like, yeah, it has to be 100%. It really does, because think about it. Yelling fire in a movie theater, like, you know, let's say we're all in a movie theater and I'm like, fire, and everybody runs out. Like, that's not free speech. That's like someone pulling a prank to cause this thing. Yes, speech was involved, but it's beyond that. That's not what they were doing. They weren't writing a piece called Fire in a Movie Theater and releasing it to the public. They were actually doing this thing in real time while the people ran out. It, to me, like, if you incite violence from afar, writing a story, that's different than doing it in the right, like right there, like, go, you guys should go over there and punch that guy. That's different. But if I write at home, hey, when these people upset you, maybe you should punch them, I'm allowed to do that. And if that guy goes and punches him, I don't really care. It's not my problem anymore. It's like when they asked the heavy metal people if they were upset when people murdered under their name. It's like, well, it's not my responsibility. I should be allowed to write stories about serial killers because I want to. And if somebody becomes a serial killer because they read my story, honestly, I wouldn't feel responsible. I really wouldn't. So it is, these are all different values. Not everybody has these values. I love you, Bill. I'm so glad I have friends in here that I've known for that long. Well, I'm on a free speech rant now, Bill. I mean, so here's the problem. So he goes out, makes this book, Satanic Verses. The Ayatollah Khomeini puts a fatwa, which is a religious hit order, just like a gangster would, except this one's involving religion. And he's legally allowed to do this in his country, just yells it out. I don't know how many millions of dollars was involved, but the man, Salman Rushdie, had his life threatened. He assassinated attempts many times. His translator was murdered, and somebody else got messed with. Fast forward 10 years later, the president of Iran forgives him. They didn't forgive him, but they said the fatwa was off. He moves to upstate New York. Salman Rushdie, I believe, is English and Indian. Oh, right. Yeah, we'll talk about that, Alex. That's interesting. So, this is a great free speech group. It always is. I think everybody here is on the same page I am. And I'm curious if anybody disagrees with me, please tell me. We're here to do that. I like when people disagree with me. The thing about free speech and Salman Rushdie is he came out of hiding, started to live his life normal. I'm sure he has bodyguards. But 2 days ago, while he was on stage getting ready to do a talk, somebody ran up and stabbed him about 10 times in the face. They caught the guy. They said Salman Rushdie might lose his eye. It's, he's going to live, but he's messed up. And I watched a Muslim cleric debate some people in the UK, and they were asking the cleric, what his thoughts were. And, basically, a lot of these guys say it's Salman Rushdie's fault. And, when the cartoonists were killed by the stupid Muslim extremist guys in France, even our Pope, I think, said we still have to be polite when we speak. And I was like, he's defending it? What? I thought that was the day every single human being that's a journalist and believes in free speech should have posted the cartoon of Muhammad in every newspaper and said this to the world of people that want to censor you with different values. But they won't do that. So by not doing that, by bowing down to their, quote, demands, by censoring yourself in solidarity of I don't know what, good luck trying to get something published now that's a little inflammatory. You ain't going to get it done. You're going to have to self-publish it, and then the internet will shut you down. Back to that whole story. Wait, I got to read this now. Let's see here. Well, because, okay, so that's the scam, William. We're always talking about that. We have free speech in this country. We don't have hate speech laws. Thank gods we don't. But because the internet is our main public forum now, the town hall, they're private. We don't have to follow that. So that means free speech only exists on my front porch, and if I print it in a newspaper and photocopy it. It's not good. Free speech has to go across now to the internet. They really do need to do the publisher platform thing. You have to pick. I really think so. Wow, I didn't know this, Ruth. Ruth just wrote, Rushdie's people had security requests and the venue denied them. They said it would basically ruin the mood. Oh, you know when we did our event, everybody, we did the Nude Witch review. They tried to stop me from having security at that event because they don't like having security in that nightclub. Again, it ruins the mood. And I was like, oh, no, we're having security. We have to. Oh, wow, Ruth, I didn't know that. That's unbelievable. That that needs to be in the news. I didn't see that in the news in any headlines. That's interesting. Wow. Oh. Oh, I love this. You guys got to read the chats in here. Oh, thank you, Ruth. I'll never forget that night. That's one of those nights when I'm old and dying. I might actually remember being a good one. Yeah, fine. I'm just curious, Ruth. So, free speech. I mean, at what point is it violent? Like an actual violent? If it gets to the point where it is a little violent-y in your speech, I'm still pro everything. I'll take the violence. Oh, here we go. First Amendment. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it's... Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, the problem is when you bend even a little bit, it becomes part of our culture. Like, to bend to certain groups and not to others. And I don't like that. We shouldn't bend to any groups.
Well, and that's where free speech, that's where we started losing. When someone established the fact, oh, that's hate speech.
That's the problem.
That's when we started.
That's when you lose as soon as you go. Because, dude, again, what does hate mean? I don't, what hateful is to me is not to this person. Even if I find a group of people and we all agree, hey, we're getting picked on and there's speech that we don't like on my group. I would say Holocaust denial maybe. But even then, who cares? If someone's denying the Holocaust, let them. You can't, if you stop them from saying it, if someone's a Holocaust denier and writes a book and it gets banned, my brain goes, maybe they're telling the truth now. Why is it being banned? Let somebody read it. Let it come out. I want to check it. Free speech isn't just saying it. It's my ability to go look and hear what someone's saying. It's to me two things. It's me being able to express my thoughts through my mouth or writing. And B, even Trump. Everybody hates Trump. Great. He's an asshole. He sucks. But I still want to hear what he has to say. I have a really, really horrible ex-girlfriend that every now and then I want to hear what she has to say to make sure she ain't around. I don't want it to be squelched out, blocked all the way, because you got to pay attention, So, here's what I taught my kids. And my kids are half Asian. And they look Asian. I mean, my son, not so much, maybe. But my daughter, she looks Asian. If you see her, you're like, she's something. Something from Asia. I told them when they were little, look, you're going to get called racist names eventually, of course. If anybody calls you a racist name and it really hurts you to the core and you really can't, it's like really sad and hateful, if you're upset, it's your fault. That's what I told my kids. It sounds harsh, but it's true. I was like, if you're upset by that, it's your fault. You should not be upset. If you're upset, I'm like, what are you upset over? You would only be upset if they were right. If they were calling you a stereotype for Asians and saying you're, whatever. If you're upset, it means you think that they think you're that and you're agreeing with them in some weird way. Like, if somebody calls me something that's not true, I'm like, all right, now I know you're a dummy. Like, I wouldn't be upset. Thank you, Yvette. So, boom, Ruth says it. The only control we have is over our responses. Yes, that's it. So I told my kids, look, if you're upset over hate speech, you got to go work on that. That's it. I think that's how they should train the cops. I think the FBI does a pretty good job at that kind of stuff. They don't want people to react to anything hateful. You hear it and you go, all right, that's all right. Okay. You're that type of person. Now I know how you think, exactly. The only things that hurt are what you believe. And that's like, honestly, like, where it came for me is teaching my kids on how to deal with the free speech clause, which I can't believe they don't teach it in school. They're teaching kids in school now that if you're upset because of something somebody else did, you need to go shut them down. And like, there's never a part where people can disagree and coexist anymore. It has to be, we disagree and I'm right and you're out of here. Because your presence lets me know I'm not right. That's bad. That is bad. Bad, bad, bad. The more I think about it, I really do think a lot of these problems come down to us not hanging out with old people. You know, I really do. The more I think about it, if you're hanging out with your old family, your old racist grandpa or your uncle who's a redneck, okay, he's a racist goon, but he's your family member, and you're gonna eat dinner with him once a week or every other day or once every day, and he's got to listen to you, and you got to listen to him. So you're gonna learn off of each other. He's gonna open his mind up to the new ways of non-bigot stuff, and you're gonna learn from him that where his values came from. You know, my grandparents, my sister in here, my mom are in here, dude, they came from a different world. And so it doesn't excuse any racist words they use, but if you hear about where they came from and the names they were called, the neighborhoods they were forced to live in, okay, I see where it comes from. I might not have done the same thing, but at least I know the story. And now I can help them see the new way. To me, that you get that from hanging out with old people, old family members, and you know, in the old days, people went to church, and that's where they did it: home, church, community. A lot of young guys don't join the Freemasons or the Moose Lodge so they can hang out with old guys. It's not that popular anymore. So, you know. Here we go. What's this here? Censorship through peer pressure. Well, that's true. Yeah. It's true. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight. So this monster here, this beholder, this Dungeons and Dragons monster invented by the people that made Dungeons and Dragons. They changed its lore, its fictional backstory, because it had the word superior in its backstory.
Oh.
Yeah, you see, my friend didn't know that. And he's like, no, seriously, it said each beholder thinks it's the master of all the other beholders. So this beholder here thinks he's the boss of this one. So whenever there's humans around in the story, they try to get the humans to be on their side so they can screw over the other beholder. They're very cunning. And so they removed the word that and the lore that they are superior. They feel superior because it implies white superior, which is, I mean, here's a red beholder. I mean, they can be any color you want. They're monsters that don't exist. And so they're editing themselves. They're doing it to them. Like, their creative juice is now, because they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, the creative juice is going away. And so this is my fear. This is what I'm telling people. If you have kids, tell them. Teach them what free speech is. Teach them what it means. Yes, it requires responsibility, tact, eloquence, education, backbone to have free speech. You have to have backbone. You can't be paper thin. And if you are, then maybe you should run away and hide. Oh, what's this? Kindness. Yeah, of course. Kindness is a big one too. Yeah, we got to learn how to do that sometimes. And that's free speech. And then when the bad speech shows up, we know how to talk about it and ignore it or laugh at it or argue back. I mean, that's what it's for. So, I do like debating. I like watching debates. Mostly when I watch people debating, the thing that drives me nuts about watching anybody debate online, and this is very common. I mean, I watch a lot of debates. I probably watch thousands of hours of everything you can think of debated. People are debating and don't even realize that the main words that they're talking about, they haven't defined. Here you go, Alex. You're in this. Dude, I love street epistemology. That's one of my favorite things to watch. Wow. 32nd degree. Oh, wow. I actually know what their secrets are. Maybe I'll do an episode on it. It is interesting stuff. I love watching debates on the how they work, and how do you know what you know? How do you know what's true? And then the words we define. Like when people say to me all the time, they'll talk about energy. They'll go, there's I don't believe in God, but I believe in energy. Or I don't believe that when we die, we go to heaven, but our energy goes. And I'm like, well, what's energy? Do you mean electricity? Do you mean a ghost? Do you mean like? I just am curious. I mean, I can close my eyes and come up with 10 different types of energies, and usually, it's not what I was thinking. And so that's why when I'm talking with people about spirits, energy, God, anything, I need to know how they define it. I can't even talk to them unless I know how they're thinking of that word. That's why if you ever read my writings, I never use the word God. I never use the word spirit. If I use the word God, I'll put a Z at the end. But I try to stay away from those words because my definition is definitely not what other people is thinking. So I can't use the word. Nietzsche changed the definition of a lot of words. His version of it, and in his world of writing, he uses it as such. Yeah, the Masons are interesting. I would say the easiest way to sum up the Masons is their secrets. You'll never learn them if you join. You join, you're not going to learn anything. You have to find them once you're inside. And they're hidden in the rituals and in the symbology. I would say the other secret they would have is the Masons have different stories, different versions of historical stories. So you have the story that everybody knows from the Bible. Well, they have a different version. So there's where the secret stuff is. Wow. I mean, what do you guys have to say? To me, Salman Rushdie's story, the fact that he's been running for 20-some years now, 30 years, because of a fictional book he wrote where, yeah, all right, I looked up exactly what pissed off people, and like, there's characters in his books that are prostitutes, and they're named after some of the wives of Muhammad. Is that offensive to a Muslim? Yeah, probably. Who cares? I don't care. I mean, I do. Okay, here's another part to the debate. Are ideologies open for ridicule? Are religious beliefs open for ridicule? Are philosophies open for ridicule? I say yes to all three of them. A lot of people won't. They'll say, well, religion and some cultural things, you can't do that because it is racist because people are born into it. Okay.
Free speech.
Well, there you go. Back to free speech. Yeah, exactly. It's a can of worms. Therefore, teach everybody to have thick skin and to be responsible and to walk away and to respond with writing. You have to educate. Because the other side is bad. The other side is regulated and will never end. It will never end. As soon as you start regulating speech, it never ends. It just keeps going. It'll get knuckled down. They're never unbanning things. It's very rare that things are unbanned. So like, what's this say? At the Shriners meeting, it's mostly a lot of drinking. Yeah, that's the thing is, a lot of guys join these groups for drinking buddies or business. They meet business guys. But I know people that join the Masons because they like rituals. I've met a few people now. I don't know if you know this, but you don't learn the rituals from like reading. It's word of mouth, and you have to memorize a lot. So to be a Mason's very hard. If I had another life, I might learn. I might do that, you know? But not right now. Now let me just check something here. When will art attack back? I wrote. It's just a thought I had. Nobody's willing to attack Islam on an epic scale. One day it should happen, and I hope it happens. Meaning Islam, meaning attack it publicly with some good art. With 2 giant middle fingers, and it goes all over the world, and there's not much they can do. I know Penn and Teller said they wouldn't do a bullshit episode with Islam. They stayed away, because you're going to get blown up. It's really terrible. I think we have more studio audiences showing up. Yay! There's a studio audience here today, folks. The title was... I wrote down... A lot of people that were mad at Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses, they thought that the title, Satanic Verses, was calling Islam satanic, the whole religion. And that's why they were burning and freaking out. I like this. It says, Ruth just wrote, all religions should be vigorously criticized. Yeah, but yes, it can cost you your life. Yeah, I know. It really... Now, Fallon brought something up. Fallon said Islam needs a good reformation so it can come back more cute and cuddly. But Sam Harris, the neuroscientist philosopher, brought this up. He said the problem is Judaism had a reformation. Christianity did too. Islam's not allowed to. It says not to. It says it's the final version of what... what's his name? The sons of Abraham. It's the final say in what the Abraham God started. So the Jews have the Messiah's coming. He ain't here yet. The Christians said, oh, he came, but he's coming back. See, there's a coming thing coming. Islam's like, oh no, he came and he's done and this is it. This is the final one. And so it's a little tricky to reform. It doesn't have a central leadership. For it to reform, it's going to take a long time. And so we're in that, that's what we're seeing is it's not really been addressed. I would say a lot of people, I saw Sam Harris do a great thing where he split it up. He goes, look, you have extremists, you have the moderates, and you have the people that don't give a shit. The problem are the moderates. Here's why. There will always be extremists. They're a very small group. They do cause trouble. The problem is the moderates actually agree with them philosophically. They don't have the balls to do what they're saying, but they do agree with a lot of their extreme ideas. So they turn a blind eye. And then you have the moderates that are afraid to say anything. They're in there too. So when you add all that up, yeah, the moderates are the tricky ones because they're the ones that could stop the problems, but they don't. I never thought of it that way until Sam Harris laid it out as such. So, hi, studio audience. No one sees the studio audience. There's a studio audience here. So, yes, those are my thoughts. I honestly, I don't know what to say. I hope Salman Rushdie heals, and I hope his middle fingers get even longer, and he keeps writing. It's obscene that that man's life has been running from Islamic kooks for 30 years. And I know the government of Iran said, hey, we didn't egg this guy on, but it doesn't matter. We all know why he did it. We don't have to go into detail of who's to blame or what. I mean, not all religion, what? Not all religion, though. All religions say a lot about final. No, you're right. Not all do. That's true. Not all religions are. When people go, I hate all religions, that's also really dumb to say, too. Sam Harris, you got to look up Sam Harris. He's a really thoughtful brain on what the religious movement is. But he said this. He compared religion to sports. He's like, we have MMA and we have badminton. If you follow certain religions to their core. For instance, Jainism is the example he presents. Jainism is the most peaceful religion on earth, and the only harm, if they followed it all the way, that they could do is probably starve to death. Because Jains walk with brooms so they don't step on bugs. If you follow Islam all the way and follow the rules, you will kill people. You will kill the non-believers. It's okay to. There's a famous quote. I should have looked it up. It's like, it's in the Quran. It might be, the number 32 is in my head. It's a very famous verse that says, to kill one person is to kill all of humanity. I remember I heard about that verse because somebody made a documentary that went to the Academy Awards and won about Islam, and the director, who I believe was a white guy, American guy, got up, and that's what he said. He took his little thing and he went, to kill one is to kill all of humanity, and everybody's, oh. But if you keep reading, the next verse talks about the non-believers and the people that shit talk Islam are to have their heads and hands cut off. It says it right after. So did he know that when he read that? Or he knew it and left it out? Think about it. So all religions aren't the same. Well, I agree. Jainism, you could say, is stupid. I don't care. It's irrelevant. People can believe whatever they want. Yeah, Jainism's crazy. That's the temple with the rats running around. But they're not blowing up themselves, and they're not causing trouble right now. So no one cares. There are innate ways of salvation through my... Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So what do? We make sure that we don't lose our edge. We keep making art. We keep reminding ourselves that we're the boss and everybody can go stick it up their ass when they try to tell you you're not allowed to think certain ways or say certain things. If somebody says something that's offensive and you're upset, it's your problem. And on top of it, ultimately, speech is thought. And censoring speech is thought policing. Look, right here. Dungeons and Dragons policed their own thoughts for the dumbest reasons I could ever imagine. Their game is going to be uncreative because of it. They're going to squelch creativity. When you have a creative session of art, you should be hateful. You should be compassionate. You should have all of that in those sessions because it means your brain is not censoring itself. And through that, you'll find the good stuff. So that's the only thing I can think of. Keep making art, keep writing, keep saying, keep talking. And if you're ever upset over anything somebody does, anytime I get like where I feel my heart race when I see something online, I immediately examine why my body did that. Like, why would I bug out like that? Why would I get upset? Over speech? Sorry. Wow, there's a lot in this chat. I'm going to actually go back and read this chat tonight. It's fine to call somebody out in real time if they said something you... Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. Yeah, they're all opinions. Cheers to the full spectrum of speech and life. I like that. That's a good way to end. Listen, I'm going to do a giveaway right now. You ready? This is how it's going to work. Just right now in the chat, I'm going to draw a line in the chat. I made everybody wait to the end. Where the hell are we here? Here we go. Let me go in here. I'm going to draw a line like this. And everybody, ancient Egyptian paganism, it is interesting. I'll hear to that. All right, see, I just drew a line on the chat. Everybody under the chat, write the number 1,000, and then I'm going to roll a dice, and whoever hits the number is getting a mystery box. And the mystery box, this one I'm going to send, is going to have t-shirts and all sorts of stuff. So go ahead, do it now. It's Monday, and I want to go party. I think it's party time. Monday's my favorite day of the week. I don't know why.
Dude, a lot of what you're talking about is addressed with that book, Coddling of the American Mind.
I'll look it up. I like it. Coddling it. Oh, here we go. There's numbers coming in. Now, I'm not writing these down. I'm actually going to roll a dice and then count down. shout out to Sean Auberg and Dungeon Degenerates. Like I said, we just started talking about working on something together. And so in this mystery box, I am going to throw in some Dungeon Degenerate swag because he gave me some to give away. So it's going to go to you. I also have Toilet Boy swag going in. I also have my Variety Arts All-Star stuff. I had some extra shirts. So whoever wins is going to get a t-shirt, and I'll let you pick. I have, and I think they're all larges, unfortunately. I like small. But I have Rockaway Beach. Look at these. You can have one of these. You want one of these? You like wear larges? It's a Rockaway Beach Strongman show.
Ah, oh shit.
Yeah. Look. It's cool, right? There it is. It was the Strongman show at Rockaway Beach. Bam.
What is that?
Oh. 6 years ago? 7 years ago?
Wow.
Milk Can Escape and the Strongmen. I also have... I'll show you. This is from, also, the other sponsor, another Riff Raff label. He mailed me swag to give away. Here it is. Look. It's a Toilet Boys bandana. Not only that, there's patches, there's stickers. Just wait. Mystery boxes get weird stuff, so you will get some cool stuff. So here we go. I'm going to... All right, let me scroll this down. All right. Well, there's only a few of you in here tonight. It's so funny. I had like 25 people, and then just at the end, everybody ran out. Maybe they got scared when we started talking about free speech. Here we go. I'm rolling. Right now. Okay. You know, dice. People put their dice in bags. You know, they have dice bags. They make a dice bag for your dice bags. That's so stupid. Is that dumb? It's like really bad.
I like it.
So I'm opening my dice bag to get out a dice bag, to get out a different dice. You have dice bags. Let's see. Huh. Which one? I'm gonna get out. Is Satanic Dice Bag when? Someone just asked me. I'm gonna roll a d12. Here we go, folks. Whoever gets this is gonna win a cool prize. Nope. Wait, 1, 2. Hold on. Hold on. No, I need a lower dice. Let's do this one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rick Sherman, you just won. Rick Sherman won a mystery box. I need your address, Rick. I have your old address. I don't have your new address. You just won some cool stuff, bro. I won't tell you what you're getting. It will be a mystery. Folks, I had a fun time tonight. I like free speech episodes whenever we go off on them. The one question I always ask, and I'm still working on this, what does it mean to be offended? Think about that. What does it actually mean? It's not easy to define. I tried to define it the other day, and I was like, it's a really weird word. I'm offended. What does that mean? All right. I'm over and out. I'm going to take you out with the outro, and then I'm going to party the rest of the night. It's Monday, my favorite day of the week, and I've got my can of water, and I have some friends here, and it's summer. So I'm over and out. I'll see you next week. I'm here, and I'm going to do another giveaway next week, another crazy one. What else? Over and out. Oh, look, there's still stuff in here. Hi, Lorcan. Is Lorcan in here? What's up, brother? All right, over and out. I'm wasting time now. Have a good night. Go watch the news stuff on Salman Rushdie. It's kind of fascinating. And I'm out. Later.